All right, today we're going to dive into a really powerful idea, one that completely flips the script on how we usually think about products and, customers. It's called jobs to be done, and it all starts with this one big realization. For years, we've been asking all the wrong questions about why people actually buy stuff. So, what's the right one?
Okay, so let's just start right there. Why does so many products fail? I mean, why do giant companies spend millions and millions on market research only to completely miss the mark? Well, it turns out the traditional way of thinking, it kind of leads us down the wrong path.
For decades, the old way, the default way, has been to focus on demographics, on who our customers are. We slice and dice them by age, gender, location, you know the drill. But here's the thing. A 35-year-old guy in Ohio and a 25-year-old woman in California might buy the exact same thing for the exact same reason, and it has absolutely nothing to do with their demographics. The new way, the jobs to be done way, flips this completely. It stops asking who and starts asking, what are they trying to get done? What's the job?
And this right here, this is the core idea that changes absolutely everything. Just think about it for a second. You don't just buy a drill, you hire it to make a hole in the wall. You don't just buy a cup of coffee, you hire it to help you feel alert and productive. This little shift in language from buying to hiring is incredibly powerful.
So, if customers are hiring products, what exactly is the job? Let's break down how this framework gives us a brand new lens for seeing why people do the things they do.
The jobs to be done framework, or JTBD for short, is all about getting to the why behind the buy. It's not about the product's features, it's about the customer's real underlying motivation. It's about the progress they're trying to make in their own life. It's a huge shift from focusing on features to focusing on outcomes.
And you can really break the whole thing down into three simple parts. First, you've got the job. That's the problem or the progress the customer is trying to make. Then there's the hire. That's that key moment when they choose your product to do that job. And finally, the outcome. That's the end result they're really hoping for. See? It's a super clean, logical flow.
And here's the best part. There's a practical tool you can use to start figuring this stuff out. It's this simple sentence. When that's the situation or the context, I want to, that's the core motivation. So I can, and that's the desired outcome. Just trying to fill in this blank forces you to get out of your own head and into your customer's world to see their actual goal.
Now, I know theory is great and all, but let's see how this actually plays out in the real world. And we're going to do it with one of the most legendary examples in business history, the milkshake mystery. This story just perfectly illustrates the power of this framework.
Okay, so the setup is this. A fast food chain wants to sell more milkshakes, so they do what you expect. They ask customers what they want. Thicker shakes, more flavors, cheaper prices. But nothing they tried worked. Sales were totally flat. They were asking the wrong questions. The real question they needed to ask was this one. Why were so many people buying milkshakes before 8:30 in the morning, all alone, and just driving off with them?
The researchers looked at all the usual suspects. Was it about the taste? Nope. The nutritional value? Definitely not. Price? Nah. They even looked at the demographics of the milkshake buyers, and nothing made sense. They were completely stumped.
And here it is. This is the aha moment. After actually going out and watching these commuters, talking to them, they finally discovered the true job to be done. See, these people had a long, boring drive to work, and they needed something to make the commute less tedious. The milkshake was the perfect hire. It took a long time to drink through that little straw, it kept one hand busy, and it was tidy.
So the crucial insight here is that the milkshake wasn't competing against other milkshakes, or even smoothies. It was competing against bagels, which were messy, bananas, which were gone in 2 minutes, or just plain old boredom. It was hired to make the commute bearable. And once the company finally understood that, they could innovate in totally new ways, like making the shakes even thicker to last longer, and setting up a self-service kiosk to get commuters back on the road faster.
But here's where it gets even deeper. A job is rarely just about a simple practical task. To really truly understand what motivates a customer, you have to look at the functional, the emotional, and even the social layers of the job.
Let's take Spotify, an example we all get. The functional job is the obvious one, right? Help me listen to any music I want anywhere. That's the practical part. But look, if that's all it was, any old music player would do. The magic is in the other layers. The emotional job is about how we want to feel. We hire Spotify to change our mood, to get us pumped up for a workout, or to comfort us after a long day. And then there's the social job.
We hire it to be seen as someone with great taste, to share awesome playlists with our friends, and to feel like we're part of a community. The truly great products, the ones we can't live without, they solve for all three of these layers. That's where real loyalty comes from.
Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, but you're probably wondering, how do I actually find these jobs in the wild? Well, let's look at some practical tools you can start using right away.
The key is to ask questions that uncover the story behind the purchase, not just the features. See, if you ask someone, what features do you want, you're just going to get a laundry list of small improvements. But if you ask about the struggle, like what was going on that made you even start looking for something new, that's when you uncover the real context, the real motivation. You learn about that moment when their old solution just wasn't cutting it anymore. That's where the real opportunities for innovation are hiding.
You know, understanding the job is also the engine behind one of the biggest trends in business today, product-led growth, or PLG. When you know the exact job a user is hiring your product to do, you can design the whole experience so they get that aha moment of value almost instantly, all by themselves. The product basically sells itself because it so perfectly and quickly solves their problem right from the get-go.
So where does this all go from here? Well, as technology like AI gets more and more sophisticated, focusing on the job isn't just going to be important, it's going to be absolutely critical.
I mean, imagine a world where AI can actually predict the job you're trying to do just based on your behavior in an app. It can then personalize your entire experience in real time, surfacing the exact features you need for that specific job at hand. The future of products is all about delivering the right solution for the right job at exactly the right moment.
So, let's just boil this all down. What's the big takeaway here? First, always remember that customers hire products to make progress. This means your focus has to be on the why, not the who. The most powerful products, as we saw, solve for all three job layers: functional, emotional, and social. And at the end of the day, a deep understanding of that job is the real secret to building things people truly value. And I really want to leave you with this final thought. Just shifting your perspective from who is our customer to what job are they hiring us for, it changes everything. It changes how you build, how you market, and how you innovate. It's the difference between guessing what people want and truly knowing what they need to accomplish.